Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless Lights coming at you today with the Wuben E8. This here is in their ECL lineup or Easy Carry Light, and this is a collaboration between Wuben and I believe what's pronounced Naichi. Now at the time of this video, this is in the pre-production phase, and in fact this is available on a Kickstarter for backing in their Kickstarter program. This is what I believe is Wuben's first Kickstarter, and actually a pretty cool offering here, and I will do the absolute best I can to illustrate this to you in an effective manner. Keep in mind the fact that sometimes when we get our hands on pre-production samples, these definitely do not come with all of the same literature or instructions or anything like that, but there should be enough information here today for me to give you a good rundown on this light. And before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Wuben who did provide this for review. Check the description box below for where you can find your own links to the Wuben E8 Kickstarter at the time of this video, and hopefully we'll see these coming into people's hands very, very soon. Now there's some features on here that are very unique and allow you to completely customize this to your liking. So it's not necessarily what you see is what you get, more like what you see is the start of what you get, and then you'll have the ability to accessorize your light in a number of different ways, and we'll get into that. But first off, in terms of the form factor, you can see here a very nice and just slim little profile, but rugged at the same time. Lights of this size are very effective in my opinion. For general EDC, they do work out very well, and I can tell you I have been carrying this for a few weeks now and I really like it. It's a cool light. The features are great. The output is solid for its given size, and it does exactly what it needs to for an EDC light with some additional little fun features. And so while we're getting into this, let's start on the tail switch. So here you can see the tail switch. Now I'm going to unthread this. There's some knurling here. And as we unthread this, this is the battery compartment. And it's a little bit difficult to get onto, but not a big deal. And then you'll notice the cap, nicely gasketed, excellent threads. And inside here, well, this is where you're going to get your Wuben battery, 900 milliamp hour. The 14500, so this is kind of like the size of a AA battery. So a 920 milliamp hour, 3.7 volts, translating to 3.4 watt hours of power. USB rechargeable, and you can see right on the side via USB Type-C connector. And you can see testing this with a standard battery and getting it installed, threading in the cap and activating the light. That will not work. So take that into consideration. This is going to be a lithium battery only. So I think that's a little bit of a miss. They had an opportunity there for your kind of, flashaholics and people that like that cross compatibility. So do take that into consideration. That was just a little data point there. But as we get into the operation of the light, you have a few different modes. Now you can see right when I click that on with that tail switch. Another little opportunity that I think could have been a great one. First off, as you lean into the button, you'll feel it has a nice springy touch to it. Nice and tactile, but no momentary press. I kind of wish this had that momentary press. Again, not a big deal, but now turning on the light, and as we half press between the different modes. So as you take a look here, you'll see it does have a UV mode. So one of the LEDs on the front, UV. Then you have low, medium, and high. Full press to off. Now this has a memory mode, so it will remember the last mode that it's in. UV mode here, this is a 2 watt max UV light with 5.5 hours of runtime. Little half press, low, 10 lumens, 37 hours of runtime. Another little half press, the medium mode or middle, 150 lumens, 5.5 hours of runtime. Then another half press. This is the high mode, 1300 lumens for 1 minute, and then this will dim down to 350 lumens for 1.5 hours. This has a maximum throw of 109 meters, translating to 3,000 candela. Couple other things worth mentioning: IP68 water resistant rating, which means this can go roughly 2 meters underwater for around an hour. That's pretty cool, and I definitely like that. That works out very well. So it makes it a good kind of ruggedized outdoor style light. And then with the battery weighing in at 2.84 ounces. So all things considered, a very light and fairly compact flashlight, coming in at around 3.56 inches in length, 1.02 inches by 1.02 inches at the widest point. But it's the fact that you can trick this thing out that makes this really cool. So notice here the screws. These are what they're calling replaceable shells. And you can see that there's a number of different color offerings to allow you to customize this and fine-tune the look. Really cool, very nice, and I like the fact that they're probably going to come out with additional colorways, things that you can just really make this your own, accentuate it your own way, and bring a little touch and flair the way you like it. Now the next thing, you are going to be able to add to the tail switch. So you can see as you take a look inside there, that's actually threaded, and you can get extension tail switches, which are a combination of functional or maybe little gadgety things, or the ability to add spinners and fidget toys, and just a real neat and unique take to a flashlight that you don't always get on other flashlights or other products. So bringing in a little touch and flair and style, and obviously over time they have the potential to add to that line. Now even furthermore, this clip is a very effective clip, but this is just a standard baseline clip. They have other offerings, the ability to, again, swap that out and really make this look your own, add a little kind of touch and flair. And all of that is very simple, where they do offer you a real basic tool. So you can see this is actually provided right with this. It is an interchangeable bit. So, if you have your own sort of, torque driver or things that you like to use and tech on your equipment, you could do that. But at least this does seem as though it's going to come with the tools that you need. Now, I am going to point out that I've seen other kind of versions that indicate that they may end up with a sort of side light, and then therefore these shields end up being, in essence, kind of like diffusers. And I think that's a pretty cool idea, and it's hard to say by the documentation that I'm seeing whether or not that's viable at this point or not. Can't really say, but I do think that would be fantastic to add that additional functionality here. Now, granted, there is no magnet or the ability to stick this to metal. So unfortunately, that would leave it still a little bit lacking, but at the same time, I'm sure they'll probably get add-ons and the ability to connect this in different ways in the future. And then beyond all of that, as if that wasn't enough, you can add tritium vials in some very strategic locations, both on the body of the flashlight itself, but also in the shell, which I think is really cool, and it really continues to enhance this overall. So not only are you getting that great aluminum construction, excellent beam quality, inside there you can see the nice diffused lenses, little bit of orange peel, great overall beam pattern, decent throw, decent run times, and actually pretty decent lumen output for such a small flashlight, but you can completely customize this and make it look the way that you want. So all in all, very, very cool. What a neat little product. Clicking on the light here, this is the low mode. Again, low is going to do a fantastic job. General EDC, up close reading. I can navigate with this, and you can see as I shine around my studio space, more than enough light to illuminate off into the distance. Good amount of throw, very simple for a small little light, but if you needed just a little bit more to get you by, little half press there. So here the medium mode, again up close, good amount of light. This is probably my favorite output of this light. It's going to strike the balance between capability, seeing everything you need to in reasonable proximity, up close, navigating around, finding your keys, getting into the door, not killing your eyesight at all, but again, good battery life, good throw overall. Now the little half press, this is that high mode. You can see a quality beam, nice and even. Not a ton in the way of hot spot, maybe a little bit there, but again, nice and even beam. It is starting to warm up with that flashlight. You can see throwing a good amount of light here. So more than I need, and certainly more than I need up close. That's going to start to kind of chew up your battery a little bit quicker, and especially where it's a smaller lithium battery, that 14500, not going to have the same type of runtime as your 18650 or 21700, that's for sure. Now, this is where the unique and fun factor starts to kick in. Another little half press, boom. Things are starting to glow around here. That's that UV light. Awesome UV beam, really functional. But this UV beam having some nice throw off and into the distance. As we walk around my studio space, you're starting to see all the places where, anything that kind of has that excitement due to the UV light really lighting up. And there's more things throughout my studio space than I would actually expect. And in some cases, really bright, lighting things up. This is going to be great for blood splatter. You hate to go into a hotel room and start poking around and finding the things you're going to find, but you'd be amazed at what you can actually see with a nice, high quality and just excellent performing UV light. And for the vast majority of people, they're really going to enjoy the fact that if you have different items that glow and you want to really charge them up, well, this is a fantastic way to do it. That really gets anything that wants to glow super bright and super fast. You can see it is extremely effective. So a nice job here on the Wuben E8. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the Wuben E8. Clearly a fun little flashlight. Wuben's been doing a great job. They actually have a ton of just really cool innovations in their flashlights and in their product line. And I think this just is a continuation to that really exemplifies that. And again, in combination with Naichi, just a good collaboration, beautiful little light, awesome little custom offering. So look in the description box below, check out the Kickstarter, help them back this project up, get some little accessories and hopefully some, good feedback from the customer. I think people are really going to like this. So again, to the people at Wuben, thank you so much for providing this for review. And if you guys like this content, check out my Outer Limitless primary channel, hiking, camping, backpacking, outdoor experiences, Outer Limitless 2, which is on the tactical and firearms side. You're here on Outer Limitless Lights, which covers EDC, headlamps, indoor, outdoor lighting, you name it. And then Outer Limitless Blades, all those sharp and pointy things. So thanks, guys. Take care now. I'll see you soon.